Hello, hi guys. Hi guys. Can you hear me? Just let me know if I'm audible, then we can start. Sorry for the delay. Hi Sai. Hello. Hi Vishal. Am I audible properly this time? Okay. So thank you Vishal for confirming that the audio is fine. So welcome back and thank you for taking out time for the live. I hope this video is actually productive for you to know and help you answer your questions. The audio is a bit low. Let me just try. Hello, is it some better? Just let me know if the audio is better, then we can just resume it right now. Okay. Thank you, game, for confirming. So, guys, thank you for coming for the YouTube live, and hopefully, this is one of the I think the last live that I'm doing for 2025. And of course, 2025 has been a great, great, great year. We just interacted with so many of you and helped you out, but now it's time for preparing for 2026. So some of you are really new in the process. They do not know actually, how do we go about it, how much time to devote in each and everything. So probably what you have to do now is start preparing yourself for 2026. Because of course, how your 2026 would be based on how you are, starting to prepare in 2025. Or likewise, we just have last 2 3 days, and then you gonna go and step in the next year. So you can, meanwhile, you can start dropping your questions so that I can also, speak about them in between, because this is a good time where I can actually give a lot of my time explaining everything in detail, because most of you ask in the chat on WhatsApp groups, etc. And it becomes very difficult to explain each and everything because, because typing is actually difficult, but speaking is much more easier. So if you have any questions, keep dropping down so that I can give them also kind of an attention. And meanwhile, just wanted to give you a little summary that the application for about 25 to 28 universities are open for bachelors, for masters. Even some of the universities like Polimi, Pavia, Messina has even closed the first call. So it's better, you start, looking at the different universities, the deadlines, the course curriculums, and you start applying as soon as possible. One big mistake that I would say people make is they do not invest time in reading the call. So when you are applying, actually when you are making the application, that clearly on the application portal they shows, okay, this university accepts a 3 year program, or this university accepts a 4 year program, or this university needs a 3 years with bachelor's degree. And in India, if you see, except the BTech degrees, most of the degrees that we have as currently is 3 years. And in Italy, the requirements for majority of the universities is 3 years honors or 4 years, because of which they simply get a rejection saying that your degree does not qualify for the course. So you lose time, you lose application fee, you lose money, and then you end up not getting any offer letter, and you just get disheartened that I put so much effort, time, money, made the COV, made the SOP, made the CV, and then got a rejection. So, that's why it's better to do a research before applying. Do not just peep into applying, but do a research. Also, try applying in the first call, because, like I said, 3 universities have already closed, like Messina, Pavia, Polimi have already closed the first call. So, for the other universities who have recently opened in December, you can apply in the first call. Okay, so I've got the first question, I think, from Vishal. that I can have a bona fide certificate but not a provisional degree. Can I get admission based on a bona fide certificate? I would be getting provisional in April to May. So Vishal, can you just confirm me one thing? Are you talking about like class 12th bona fide certificate, or are you talking about bachelor's degree bona fide certificate? If you can just write more about your problem, I'll be in a better situation to actually answer that. Hi Bhavya, and then then Game wanted to know the full process. Okay, so Game, just giving you a little idea. Basically, the entire process starts right from November and it ends roughly in next September when you get the visa and you arrive in Italy. So the first problem actually is there are two big hurdles in the entire process. Firstly is admission, which I would say is very very difficult if you have a low CGPA, if you are not planning to give IELTS, because you know what most of the other consultancies what they do is they say that don't give IELTS. What I always say from day one is give IELTS, because you will be in a a herd of crowd of sheep who do not have a proper merit requirements, who's just going and applying anywhere without any good academics. You yourself imagine you're going outside India, you are going to Italy. They The only way of communication is English. Of course, you do not have mastery in Italian. Neither they would teach in Hindi. So they would want to know that how is your English per se. So that's why they want to know if your English is good, and that they will be able to know not with the MOI but with an IELTS scorecard. Always give exam. It's 18,000 exam. You're going foreign for the next 2 3 years. You can invest this much amount. I don't think so. There's a need to look for universities without IELTS. So the coming to the process, then the first is admission. Start applying. Have a good CV. Have a good SOPs. Write your experience, job experience, your study experience. Highlight on projects that you have worked on or thesis that you have worked on, so that your CV comes out very nicely. And when the professor, because in Italy most of the time the professor reviews your application, so when they see, they actually get to know he is actually academically very sound. So then what happens is they understand, okay, he is very good, well versed with maybe the theory portions or has a practical experience. Then they give you acceptances. So first is acceptance. Once you got the acceptance, then you can wait for other acceptance if you are inclined towards some of the other university or courses. Once you have made up your mind that okay, I want to go with this university, let's say University of Padua, then you can go for pre-enrollment. Pre-enrollment starts roughly from March April and it ends to maybe July August depending on university deadlines. So you have to follow the pre-enrollment deadlines. Then you have to start getting your HRD in apostille. So be it class 12 mark sheet, be it bachelor's degree or transcript, start to get your basic HRD from your state and apostilles from the New Delhi. Once you have that, then you can start focus on the scholarship and also the visa. Coming to the visa, start from now so that the visa officer sees the last 6 months bank statements, so they know actually what all money you have, what all proofs you have. So you should start working from now, because later people they come and say me, I don't have any idea, I have no money in the account, now tell me how do I get visa. You yourself imagine that's how the case of rejection comes in, because visa officer sees only that if your money is coming from last 6 months, if the money is coming prior, if your holdings and money savings as of prior, you just got transferred from one to the other, shunt to the other, all of these people, and just increase the money. That is the big issue. So yeah, these are the four stages. And coming to the next question, sir, is gift deed acceptable for visa? So now the problem comes, and that's why I always say start in December. Because if you put a gift deed, what visa officer thinks actually, first of all, gift deed, if it's from father, mother, real brother, sister, it's still acceptable. Gift deed from totally an unknown person or like a far off relative like uncle, chacha, chachi, all of those people, I would say a big no. Reason being because what happens is, otherwise if they would have allowed gift deed, just imagine they would have considered that okay, you can also show your chacha also as sponsor. So it's like you did not show chacha as sponsor, you just took his money in your account and showed it as a gift deed. So this is something that visa officer do not prefer, because what they feel is you have taken the money today, maybe after getting the visa you return them back the money, because why would they pay for you or give you gift, such a big gift. So then visa officer have a doubt that might be he is actually basically trying to just increase money for the visa, but he actually don't have money. So it's better you put the money in December. If you don't have any money, maybe from some gift deed kind of, you can put in December, maybe you have last 2 3 days, and show it as a saving, because when the visa officer see your statement from January, they would see, okay, this person has decent money and he has been saving quite a lot, because people, they actually save a lot of money for the parents, for the students education, or for the students, their child's marriage, etc. So you can do all of those things. And Vishal, since you talked about the BTech degree, I would say in that case, what you can do is you can take a bona fide certificate. You can take whatever semester transcripts you have, be it 5 semesters, 6 semesters, 7 semesters, eight semesters, and you can apply, for the with the semester transcripts, and you can just give a disclosure in form of a declaration that my provisional degree is yet to arrive and I would be able to provide by this date. Till then, please accept my bona fide and please accept my 7 semesters transcripts, for example. So they would accept that, there is no problem, but make sure what deadline you tell them, you provide them with the provisional degree, and later get the provisional degree and your transcripts, HRD and apostille, for proceeding for DOV, because without provisional degree you cannot go for the DOV. Okay, so does GPA in BTech matters? Is it the sole criteria for filtering candidates? See, Polimi is the number one university in Italy for any masters related technology courses. They, of course, have a very limited seat, and they have a very, tough criteria. If you apply Polimi, if you have gone through the Polimi portal, you would see they ask your CV, they ask your SOP, they ask your transcripts, they ask your degree. They basically give you opportunity to actually prove them that if you have any other extracurriculars. Of course, the first preference would always be in your academics, because of course if your bachelor's was only 5 CGPA or 6 CGPA out of 10, they would not have that trust that okay, you got 5, might be you come here and you still get 5 or 6, because they want to make a community of good students, all good students who have scored good marks, and they can only have a criteria through merit. So that's the basic criteria. And I would say if you have above 8 CGPA, it's very easy to get into Polimi. If you have lower than 8, then make a very good SOP, very good CV, and maybe do some publications or research, thesis, etc. And you can add a link to that so that they can see, okay, you have a lesser score, and but you have a very good, publish papers, or very good thesis, or very good research paper that you've worked on. So that should help. So Variety has put this question: my official mark sheets are laminated, so how can I get HRD, apostille, translation, etc.? So if your transcripts or mark sheet is laminated, either first try, if you can go to any professional cyber cafe, they actually heat it, because we have also personally got it done for many students. You heat it from both sides, you slightly, slowly you just drag the plastic, and it would be, the lamination would be removed. If it is like a very tough, sticky plastic, then ask your university to reissue you a duplicate mark sheet, because without the originals you cannot get HRD and apostille, and that you cannot submit for DOV. So either try removing it through a professional, or just ask your university to issue a duplicate. They would charge some amount for issuing a duplicate, but they do, because some people also lose it, so they have to issue duplicate, but they charge certain amount. So I have to take affidavit. So like I said, first prefer not to take gift deed. If you are taking gift deed, it's a little risky. That's the worst scenario. If you cannot arrange money from anywhere, then do that. And if you are doing gift deed, then of course take a gift agreement or gift affidavit, and also try to have it from a real blood relatives like mother, father, brother, sister. Not take it from a very far relative, because like I said, they would think that you might have to return back the money. Okay. Is the sponsorship only allowed for the people with blood relation? Now, embassy is very clear, Anand. They're basically, what they personally, I would say, feel is that no one is there to help you or would actually give you money. Whoever can give you money is basically your mother, your father, you yourself if you're working, and the fourth is the loans, the education loan. So besides that, no one else can sponsor, not even real brother and sister. The only reason is you are the family of your mother and father. Mother, father, you are family. But your brother would have a different family. Your brother, brother's wife, brother's son or daughter. So what they feel is whatever money your parents have, they are always happy to share it among the kids. But if your brother is there, he would make his own family. So why would he give you the money? So visa officer thinks, that's the visa officer's psychology. They think that if you're taking money from your brother, you will be returning him later. And if you're returning him later, you will eventually end up with no money. And if you have no money, the problem is again the same, that if you don't have any money, you would be going to Italy. And because why the Europeans are getting stricter about the visa, because you get visa for 30 plus countries. You can go to Norway, Sweden, or you can go to Austria, you can go to all of the European countries, Italy and all of the Switzerlands and everything. And the second thing, if you would have heard about in the news, that in Rome, Milan, illegal immigrants are increasing. They are, snatching things, they are stealing things. So they do not want you to go to Italy, end up with no money, and later, do all of these mischief things to earn money or to earn a livelihood. So they want to prioritize giving visas to people who they see that they're earning a regular basis income and who have a good savings that they can support their education in Italy. Okay, so I hope that answers your question in detail. And the next question is, एम बी बी एस करना है मुझे, पर मेरे पेरेंट्स आई टी आर फाइल नहीं करते हैं, और कितना अमाउंट शो करना होता है मनी वीज़ा के लिए फॉर एम बी बी एस. Okay, so now what happens is, for MBBS, of course, for you are coming for bachelor's, you are coming for master's, you are coming for MBBS. For all three, you need to have ITRs for the sponsor, be it father, mother, or yourself, for the last 3 years. Last 3 years meaning one current year for 26-27, two last years 25-26, and 24-25. Now, what you can do is, if you do not have ITR, you can file last 3 year ITR together. So if you file ITR less than 5 lakhs, you will have to pay 1000 rupees government penalty. If you file ITR from 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs, you will have to pay 5000 government penalty but no taxes. But if you file above 7 lakhs, then you have to pay taxes, because 12 year slab that was introduced from this year, from March. But from last year, the tax free slab was 7 lakhs. So if you can pay a little good amount, you can pay 5000 government fees and get ITR filed up to 7000. If not, even 5 lakh is safe. If you can show that, okay, last to last year it was 5 lakh, and then my father got promoted and now he has maybe 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs. So I think that should answer your question. And also the funds requirement is 7 lakhs per annum if you see the checklist. So if you are going for a 3 year course, it's 7 into 3, 21 lakhs. If you're going for a 4 year course, it's 7 into 4 is 28 lakhs. If you're likewise, if you're going for a master MBBS course, which is 6 years, so 7 6 are 42, so you get 42 lakhs funds is required, in which you can also take gold loan, gold sell also you can do, property sell you can do with a proper sale deed, etc. So you can do a bunch of things, but at least they should know that you have those much funds, because scholarship is of course there. But visa officer cannot trust scholarship, because if you miss the scholarship deadline, if the documentation is wrong, if you do not get scholarship, then what is your plan B? So for plan B, what embassy thinks is, you should have full money, and if you get scholarship, of course you can save that money, and your parents can have it for themselves. So yeah, so Sai, you can just keep the money in your account from before, like December. Then you don't need a gift deed. You can just simply transfer, because we are not anyway showing to the officer that that is your sort of money. Okay. So coming to the next question. Next question is, sponsorship only allowed from people with blood relatives. I have done this question. And next question is, basically, just hold for a second. Yeah. So what are the funding options? No, I think there's another question in between. Yeah. So with 8.6 GPA, which university I can get masters in data science? Of course, you can get into, because if you have above 8, you are mostly qualified with most of the universities in Italy. Just make a very good, like I said, CV, SOPs. Some universities also ask for an interview. If you do all of those things properly and timely, you have a good chance of getting accepted. So try for Polymed, try for Polito, try for Padua, try for Pavia, and try for all of these good universities. You can, based on your course, of course. For data science, it's actually in a low, less number of universities. Like Messina has data science, so you can look which universities has specifically data science, or you can go for computer science engineering also. What are the funding options? Variety has this question. What are the funding options for a student who is land rich, poor, cash poor, unemployed parents with no savings? Because see, what I told you now also, if you have good lands, of course you can put the valuations in the end, but that would not suffice, because you need liquid fund. So try, if you have very good land and if your parents can sell a portion of it for your education, they can sell it, show the sale deed and get money, and file ITR and show maybe they have agricultural income, maybe they have income from salary. So if you start working on all of those things from now, if I give you one example, there was one student, I won't name the student, Her both the parents were actually tailors, and they did not have a QR. They used to take in cash. They had a very small shop. They did not do very good. So what they did is they sold her, sold a little piece of land, got the money, showed that they are earning a very good business income. They have a very big boutique, and we eventually land up together for getting a visa. So if you start early, if you make all of these strategies for the visa from now, you can very well get visa. Okay. So next question is from Power Move, and his question is, if sibling gift deed of 15 lakhs before January 1st, will that be okay? See, now what I told you is, if you're doing anything before 1st January, visa officer is not seeing it. Visa officer is seeing your file from 1st January to whenever you're applying. So if you're doing anything, you can show them as prior savings. Your parents would be working from 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, maybe as a service, maybe in a business. They can easily save 10, 15 lakh, by saving, because most of the parents actually save money for the kids' education, for the kids' marriage. So you don't need to justify that, no need to put any gift deed. You can just simply transfer the amount. Okay. So that is there. So now coming to the next part. Um, yeah, again, like, not to, you don't have to show that your siblings have saved. You can just show you as your parents funds. The rejection for the last intake, I had sent you the rejection letter. Can you explain the main cause for the rejection, as I had shown 12 lakhs in FD and 7 lakhs in liquid? Now see, another very important point. FD does count as an extra fund, but FD does not count as a main fund. If you have just 7 lakhs liquid and 12 lakh of FD, what happens is visa officer thinks, if you have FD, why did you not break it? Because what happens is, sometimes you have loan running on FD, sometimes you have already matured your FD, and you just put the certificate which is showing that it is maturing later. People do premature, the FDs. So in that case, the best way is premature FD. Show it in the visa. Show the proof that okay, this was the FD, maybe the FD letter, or maybe take a letter from the bank where they certify okay, you have the 10 lakhs FD which you broke, and you got 10 lakhs 50,000 with interest. You can very well do that, but if you're showing just 7 lakhs liquid, again the problems come. You have lesser liquids, then they would not consider, because I'll tell you a reason for that. Because what happens is, let's say you know a SBI manager, you ask them that okay, just take a letterhead, just write on the letterhead that I have a 12 lakh, 14 lakh, 15 lakh FD, but you actually don't have a FD. So how would they know if the FD is correct, or you just took a letter from some bank person and you're just showing? So that's why they want to see, if you're getting the money in the account, you that means your FD is real, and they consider that. Similarly is the case with the loan. If you show just the loan sanction letter, disbursement letter, you actually do not, the visa officer do not accept it. But if you show the loan sanction letter, disbursement letter, plus the money being credited to your account, then they know the loan letters and everything are correct, genuine, and he is actually having the funds, and he is having enough funds, and then they consider it. That could be the reason. I You can resend me the offer letter, or like the rejection letter. I can go through it again and maybe tell you. But what so far with the reasons that I think is this one. So that I think answers your question, Sai. Hardik has this question. I don't have that much funds. I'm taking student loan of 15 lakhs and 15 lakhs FD. Do the FD needs to be in bank account or just proof of FD? Again, like I said, FD needs to be liquidated. You'll have barely 1 or 2% of interest loss. It's better you liquidate it. Once you get the visa, you make again the FD. So why to take risk? Because like I said again, you have a 15 lakhs loan and a 15 lakh FD. How would the visa officer know that 15 lakh loan that you've taken is on the basis of 15 lakhs FD? So that's basically the one fund that you're trying to show two times. Or that FD is basically someone else's name and you just showed as your name. Or it could be XYZ reason. The basic principle is, have all the liquid funds, be it from the loan, be it from the FD, be it from the shares, mutual funds, at least for the basic amount, which is like 7 lakhs per annum. For masters 14 lakhs, for bachelors 21 lakhs, for MBBS 42 lakhs. After that, if you have more savings or more FDs, then you can put that in FD form. Then there is no harm. But for the basic principal amount, it's better to show it in the FD. So next question is, one has done diploma after 12 because marks were not good. Yeah, if you have done a 3-year diploma, it depends. If you have done a 3-year one, so then you can show that and take the admission in bachelor's. If you have taken a single year, then it does not matter much, because basically what happens is, you can show some university give preference, some university do not give preference. It's a simple funda. If you're coming for bachelor's, they consider class 12. If you're coming for masters, they consider your bachelor's. So if you're coming for whatever degree, they see like the prior degree. The diploma could be, I tell you where you can use diploma. For example, you've done a 3 year degree and you've done a 1 year diploma. That makes a total of 4 year education. And some universities which require a 4 years education, you can use them there. That I have 3 year plus 1 year, making it 4 year, and I have a required set of 4 years of education needed for my admission in masters. But if you are showing it as basically, as the class 12, you can consider them and show them that okay, my scores was not good because my health conditions was bad, and you can just try to make up a good story on the SOP. And but it's not 100% sure that they would be accepting your diploma over the class 12 mark sheet. Of course, they can give you an edge if it's little here and there, but if it's too less or too problematic, then it would not be much advantageous. Then the next question is from the Ankit. Please cover living cost, food, and how much of it is covered from scholarship and how much I need to spend on my own. Okay, so now it depends from the city. Some city, let's say Rome or Milan, which are very very expensive. So of course the scholarship amount is pretty much same everywhere. In like Milan also you're gonna get 7,000 8,000 euros. In Bergamo also you're gonna get 7,000 8,000 euros. In Pavia also. So what happens is the more the expensive city you stay, the more chances gets lesser. Like the more the spending becomes more, so more chances of savings become lesser. So now the problem is if you're living in a very expensive city, be ready to spend some 2 3 lakhs for entire year from your own pocket. If you're living in a smaller city, then you can expect saving 2 3 lakhs from the entire scholarship amount per year. So it's a very subjective question. If you can tell me the specific city, I can maybe let you know more. Then variety is the question: why should Indian consider studying in Italy despite huge language barrier? See, if you go anywhere outside India, like except UK, US, or maybe Australia, most of the countries have their own language. When they have their own language, you have to bring the adaptability, because if someone is coming to India, they have to learn in Hindi to live in India. Likewise, if you're going outside, you should learn their language. So do not be, don't take it as a foundation. Take it as an opportunity that you're getting to live in an environment where you can speak different language, learn different language, talk in different language. So I think it's an advantage. Don't take it as a barrier. And it has very good practical and clinical experiences, because trust me, the number of seats for non-EU, if you see talk about medical, you will see it's pretty low, 30, 45, maximum 60 for let's say Catania, Marche, or like likewise. So in that case, what happens is number of students are less every year. They have to give experiences like in hospitals and clinics, so then you get more chances, because here they're not filling a large number of students in the class. That's the best part, I would say. The student to faculty ratio is pretty low. Percentage sufficient for medicine and surgery. So medicine and surgery as such do not have any basically percentage requirements, I would say. But it's better to show. If you have a very good percentage, it's better to show. But even if you have 50 60% and you are able to crack the IMAT, it's pretty much fine. But some universities, let's say University of Messina, it has a requirement of minimum 70% in class 12. If you have less than 70%, then maybe go to Catania, maybe go to some other university. Some university have a requirement, some do not. So wherever you're going, it's better to double check. And if you have a 57 percentage, it's fine for most of the universities. But like I said, for example, Messina, they would not accept your profile even if you clear the IMAT, because you have less than 70%, which is their minimum requirements. Okay, so coming to the next question. Okay, this is done. One has done diploma because one's marks was not sufficient in lateral second year, and any problem in CMA or DOV. No, there would be no problem in CMA and DOV if you're able to justify in your letter that what you have done, why you have taken a lateral entry, and you attach both the universities, letters and proofs that you did a transfer. Okay, so when do we usually start apply for the merit-based scholarship? So see, merit-based scholarship are two types. One is either from the Ministry of Culture. Second is the university-wise. If the university-wise is open, let's say University of Pavia has their own merit scholarship. Whenever they open, you just shoot and apply. And when the government scholarships like the ministry scholarship like Invest Your Talent or MECI scholarship, so all of that you need to keep a track. They give a deadline, they announce on their official government pages. We also would publish on our Instagrams. Follow us on Instagram, you'll get updates. And then once it's open, go and shoot apply. There's no harm in applying, of course. So Monk has this question. Hi overall, how are you doing? My question is, what is the scene of mess food? Because there I'll get my scholarship later in December, and if I land early October, how can I manage my food? Okay, so this is now very important and very good question, because what happens is the food actually gets free after you've got the scholarship. So if you have not got the food, what I personally recommend is you can just get some pre-packed food for the initial days. Then once you come here, you can just bring a little pan, little that cooker sort of a thing, and you can easily cook rice, dal, or you can pay and eat outside. Because until the scholarship is confirmed, they do not generally give the meals for free. So that's a good question, but it's better, that you can try to learn cooking before you come, so that it makes your life easier and better. So next question is, showing fake selling can help. So you can do selling. Of course, you can show that you're selling house, you can sell gold, you can selling, car. But it's better you do a real selling, because if you are selling home and you do not have a sale deed, then you would be stuck, because the visa officer wants to see a proper sale deed. Only a sale agreement would not work, because they're not stupid. They know that if you are getting 12 lakh, you can simply make an affidavit saying that I sold my property. They need to see a sale deed where it's showing that your property has been transferred, you have paid the stamp duty. So I would say do it if you can genuinely show it. Rest is up to you. Angel have this question: can the IMAT be written before the completion of class 12th grade in India? So you cannot write IMAT before class 12, because what happens is if you're coming for the September 2026 intake, so your exam would be in September. You have centers in India, Dubai, Saudi, all of these places. So, but the only problem is if you are writing your class 12th after giving IMAT, that means you are writing in March of 2027. Then how would they allow you? Because you are a student till March and you have to join classes from September. So once you finish class 12th, only then you can appear for the IMAT exam. Otherwise, they would not accept you. So Monk has this question: should we show 23 lakhs for bachelors? Also the ITR is 7 lakhs. Should I just go full funds or education loan? So do not trust 100% education loan. Try to show majority of the funds from your side, lesser from the education loan. Education loan comes with an EMI. So you cannot show that, okay, I am paying 15 lakhs, loan, I'm paying 15,000 EMI or 10,000 EMI. So visa officer also wants to see if you do not have any funds, no student you can find with who has got the visa with 100% loan, because they want you to show some money that you have earned of your own, have done some savings, and you're putting your money in your future. Taking simply loan, and how would you repay back the loan if you don't have any money or if you don't have any income? That makes you fall into a debt trap, that you are paying loan money only for the loan interest, and your 10 15 lakhs money became only 10 lakhs, because 5 lakh you gave in interest plus EMIs plus principal amount. So then they do not give the visas in that case. That's why people, they gets a very high refusal rate for the visa, because they do not plan all of these things in advance. How much do we need to show in ITR? See, the more the better. I mean, there's no minimum maximum requirements. I know people have got visas in 4 lakhs, and I know people have also got rejection in 12 lakhs. So that totally depends on the funds management, the balances in the account, how stable the income is coming, all of these factors. Vishal has this question. Bank said it can give 15 lakhs education loan, but they said they only give sanction letter and they were disbursed. No. In that case, you prefer talking to another bank who does disbursement before a visa, because if they are doing after visa, it's not useful. Visa officer has given, I know a student who has given a refusal letter to a student saying that your loan has not been disbursed. It's better to have the loan disbursed than going for the visa. Then Mayank has this question: having good amount of land and house, how can it help in showing funds? Like I said, it cannot substitute your requirements of the funds. For funds, you need to have a basic funds requirement, which is like 7 lakhs, 14 lakhs, 21 lakhs, now the calculations. So land you can show as an extra funds, like a land valuation. You can go to any certified property valuator. You can go and tell them that, okay, I have this particular land, just do a valuation report for me and just put it in the visa. That would of course help you in showing that you have more backing of the funds, so the chances of visa becomes dim, refusals become dim. But if you just show that I have property as a main funds, then visa officer thinks that he do not have liquid fund. If needed funds, he would go for selling the property. Then they would not be sure that, okay, you can sell property on time or not. So they want to give visas to those who have the funds now. And properties, like I said, show it as extra funds, but not as a primary fund. Okay, Monica has this question: how much should I come as an expense for 2 3 months of living before scholarship. Is 1.5 lakh enough? Now see, it depends again on the city. Let's say you are coming to Padua. The amount of rent in Padua would be roughly 300 to 350 per month. Let's say you are putting 300, they would take 300 euros for your first month rent, 300 euros for a 1 month security. You will do permesso and all the documentation, which spends around 150 euros. You will buy sim, you will buy grocery, you will buy some of the bed sheets, mattresses, or maybe pillows. So that would eventually, for the first month, your expenses are pretty high. So of course, first for the first 2 3 months, around 2 lakhs should be enough. Later, once you get the scholarship, it becomes balanced out, because maybe if you are staying in a hotel in the first week, all of this just increases your expenses. Okay. What is the scope of MBA in Italy and its admission criteria? So now, hi Udit. So the scope of MBA, first of all, in Italy, they do not say it as MBA. They say it like Masters in Business Administration, Masters in Business and maybe Data Science. Maybe they just rename the course from Masters in Business, Sciences, something like that. So better if you just do a little research what course you like, and it has a very uh, I would say not very easy, not very difficult. It has a moderate basically acceptance criterias, like above 7 CGPA, chances are more. Give IELTS. If you want to go for an MBA, start plan to give GRE or GMAT, all of these exams. And besides that, try to show if you have done any work experiences, any MNCs. So all of that would actually help into get admission, because for management, maximum number of students who come to Italy come for management and fashion. So if you are going for the management, it becomes very very competitive, specifically in universities like Bologna, which has a very very high merit requirements. What are the universities with no class 12 marks required? Hardik, sadly, there's no university which does not count your class 12 mark sheet, because if you're coming from bachelor's, they would, how would they access you? They would, see your profile, evaluate your profile with your class 12 mark sheet, and also besides that, your sense exam, which is a newly introduced exam. So, or maybe the SAT exam if you're going for some of the top universities like Pavia, or maybe Turin, Polito, all of these. So if you do not consider 12, I would say the universities might be no. All universities need class 12 mark sheet. So Monk, for easier value, my dad has a property and the value is coming very high. So should I fake being on a rented place? See, now I cannot answer that officially on the YouTube, but of course you can connect with me and I'll help you. But it's better for visa. It's a simple tagline for visa. Show you are very rich. For scholarship, show you are very, yeah. So coming to the next question from Power. So if I get any relatives who want to help to send some money before 1st January, will it be okay? Yes, it would be okay, but also make sure you have a regular income after first. It should not happen that from 1st to July, from 1st January to July, you have no money coming in. So I mean, it is not that easy, because you should have some prior money, which is your savings. Remaining funds you can keep adding, every month, like salary, business income. You cannot just show that I have 21 lakhs and now from January to June I earned nothing, I have a zero ITR. That would again not help. So it has to be a proper synchronization, so that everything matches what you're saying, what your documents are saying, etc. So Jaydeep has this question: if the money is from a senior savings account and its statement is available, but the amount is locked, will it be acceptable? No. Any amount which is locked will not be acceptable. Visa officer wants to see free flowing amount, without any lien, without any blockage, so that you can withdraw it when you need. If the money is blocked, you are showing for the visa. After getting the visa, you go to Italy. You need funds, and that you cannot withdraw the amount in block, so you cannot show that. Prefer showing all the liquid flowing funds. Liquid flowing funds, fund that is in your account. How you got the money? From FD breaking, from mutual fund selling, from stock selling, from gold loan, from property loan, from savings, from business, from all of these XYZ factors. There are multiple factors, agricultural income, and XYZ, many many income sort of things are there. I have sent you the rejection letter. I'm going to break the FD and show it in liquid. So is there anything I need to do to make my financial strong? Again, like I said, make a good ITR, make a good amount that you're showing every month, it's coming in credited. It should not be just, like I said, money came in one time and then no money is coming later. So that basic small things if you show, it should be pretty much fine. So next question is from Hardik. Parents don't have stable account. Sometimes it's very low, but I have arranged liquid funds. Is it okay? So see, that's the biggest problem. Visa officer wants to see stability. If you see loan, when you apply for the loan officer wants to see stability, that you are getting a regular income, that you can pay the EMIs. Otherwise, they do not, give you the loan. Similarly, it's the visa. If the visa officer thinks 1 month he's earning 1 lakh, but other month he's not earning only 10,000, so they might be afraid that might be he earns, like they see the worst case scenario. That might be he earns only 10,000 every month. Then in that case, what happens is, then they would not be able to trust you that you have the required funds, or your parents would be able to earn the required funds, and hence they give a rejection. They feel that might be it's better for you to study in India than just going to Italy and being a burden on the parents. Because parents, let's say you have 14 lakhs, out of those 14 lakhs, your parents would also need some money to survive, right? They cannot give you entire 14 lakhs and say, okay, go, and then I would just live on my own. They would also need funds. They are also saving money for their retirements. So of course, that's why it's better to show the full amount and show the regular sources of income. I will be, Monk is asking, I will be giving sense, and should I do some certifications or get some references from publications, any project in my field? Would that help? Or they just see credits for bachelor's in financial econ? Yeah, of course. If you're going, sense exam is first of all for bachelor's. If you're going for master's, it's not needed. And if you have, like I said, you get an opportunity to write in SOPs, the statement of purpose, why you're joining that university, and you also get your option in Europass CV where you can show your credibility. So in all of those both options, you can just mention your projects, your thesis. If you can post it on any YouTube, maybe explaining them, you can just attach a hyperlink. You can show any newspaper cutting if you have got published anywhere. All of those things you can do. What are the universities with no minimum class 12 marks requirement? So see, I would say most of the universities have a class 12th requirements, but some universities, like for example, Casino is there, or you can just research depending upon the course, because some courses are available in some universities, some courses are available in some university. So based on that, you can see, but at least prefer having 60 plus percentage to be able to secure a good university. Sai has a question: is the DOV valid for 2026, or do not need to take the DOV again? No, DOV or Chemia, if you have taken anywhere in your entire Italy process, it remains valid throughout. Even your HRD and apostles remain valid. You don't have to take it again and again. You can use the same very much DOV. You can just reapply with the fresh visa file that you make again, but your DOV remains same. Pre-enrollment needs to be done again. Okay. So Lavish has this question: is the job market good after doing bachelor's in business related programs? See, now again, to be very blunt, honest, job market in Italy is very good provided you learn Italian. If you do not know Italian, you would 99% not be able to find a job. If you learn Italian, you can reach out to good companies, because first of all, they would prefer international student over Italian student, because they know that this person would be able to do the work for cheap. Because even if they pay like 2500 euros, which is 2.5 lakhs in Indian rupees to an Italian, they would feel less. But if they pay 2.5 lakhs to you as an Indian, you will feel it's too much higher. So that's why they prefer giving it to international students, because they can work more in lesser funds. Plus, they're eager to learn and evolve. Plus, if you learn Italian, it would solve the communication problem gap also, and then it should be fine. So Udit has this question: I'm in my final year. My GPA as of now is 8 out of 10. I have government job experience. It was a group post but permanent. I left it and started bachelor's, and also planning GRE this year. How this proof? Okay, so in that case, I would say if you have a good GPA above 8 out of 10, plus you had a good experience of working, you can just add all of these profile. It's a pretty good profile. You should be able to land with a good university. Variety is this question: are you uh, okay? So next question is from Jadip: healthcare management courses available for bachelors? Yes, healthcare courses are available. You can just do a little research, maybe shortlist the universities that you like, go to their website, write programs taught in English, and once you're able to find that, you can easily look for the entry requirements, and you can start applying. It's a little difficult, so either you can invest, if you have a lot of good time, you can invest on browsing all of these things, or you can just reach out to someone who has been doing the Italy process, and they can guide you easier in an easier manner. So next question from Vishal: My father is an electrical conductor. He don't have salary slips. How can we show funds for him and most money flows in hand? So if he's getting money in hand, he should ask his whoever his superior is to start putting money in account. Because if you are putting money in, let's say, cash, then the problem is visa officer thinks that how would they able to check if you're getting money or not, or you just claim that I got 10 lakhs in cash. They see, because they want to see everything in white which is in account. So he can do is, if he is a contractor, he can have contract slips. There's not necessary of salary slips, because every month, let's say he got contract of 2 lakhs or maybe 50,000. So every month he can just get a contract slip, and you can ask the person to just put the money in his account. So that would be a proof that okay, he's getting money and he's working probably pretty much fine. Monk has this question. I am eligible for it, and my father property is in a very poor rural place. But for the easier, they're quoting very high amount of easy, like 4x, and actually, yeah. So basically, Monk and Variety, this question is actually very genuine, because what happens is in Italy, they actually consider your property as 500 euros per square meter. But if you see in like areas like Mumbai and Delhi, this 500, maybe if they have 100 square meters property also, it would be pretty low. But if you go in the rural areas, like small towns or maybe suburbs areas or small rural areas, then you will see they actually have a very very big properties, but the land wise property value, if you see, it's pretty low. But I would say Italy has this wrong nomenclature where they just see the property area and they multiply it with 500 euros, be it New York City, be it a small village. So that makes it a little difficult situation, which I feel. But they also have no other option, because how can they evaluate city wise for so many countries, because people are coming internationally from worldwide. So Monk has this question also. Overall, bro, should I learn some hard skills like electrician, plumbing, or just some hardware skills? Will this help me land a good job, paying higher? See, I would say plumbing, electrician, I don't think so people would allow you, because that needs a hard skill, and people would contact some Italian to actually come and do it. They would not call you. If you want to do some first of all, I feel that you should focus mostly on the studies so that you can finish your degree on time, and you can also start earning through doing a proper job. But in case you are not financially that strong that you can support your education or support your living, then in that case do part-time jobs like being a waiter, being a delivery agent, being a bartender, because these are easier jobs. You don't have to go at different homes, or you do not have to work that hard, because it is easier. But I would still suggest, do not do part-time jobs unless until it becomes a very necessity. Bhuvan, your question is, can you give us some insights on doing a master's in medicine in Italy after completing 6 years of undergrad in Italy? So see, basically what happens is, once you are in Italy, you are being staying here for 6 years. Then what happens is every year programs changes. Some university introduce new programs, some universities they eliminate few programs. So you get 6 years staying in Italy, you'll get a very good exposure. So in that time, I think you'll be able to explore yourself, what kind of programs you want to do. You want to practice, you want to do a master's after medicine. So, and mostly the programs might change. There would be new programs, new courses. Universities also doing a lot of collaborations with European Union. So I think you have a lot of time for that. You can keep exploring, and later, maybe like after 5 6 years down the line, if you have questions for that, you can definitely connect. But for now, just worry about your undergrad, maybe the 6 year medicine degree. Don't think that far. Okay, after 6 years, what course I would do, because you are not sure what course would be available. Vishal has a question. For easy value, I can add more family members to decrease the easy value, like adding my uncle, auntie. See, as per the requirements, the first and foremost thing for the scholarship, what they personally prefer is everyone living in your house. Let's say you are living in Punjab, Ludhiana, maybe. You live in a house where you have uncle, your grandparents, grandmother, your father, mother, you yourself, and your brother, sister. So totally, let's say you have 8 members. So you can include all of those. But if your grandparents are technically living in some in some other home, let's say in some other city, then it's better not to add them. But of course, to reduce the easy, you can, people do that, and it's totally legal. So you can do that. But ideally, if your parents or grandparents are living in another home, so you should also add that also in the easy value, that you have two properties. So next question is from Levi, that if my visa rejected, can I apply for another countries and drop my studies, continue my masters in Italy? Is it possible to convert student visa? Please suggest a good idea. See, if your visa is rejected, of course you can apply to other countries. Like I know people whose visa was rejected last year, and they told me what I can do. I'd suggested them go for Latvia. They went for Latvia and they're doing their bachelor's or master's from there. So it's not that hard. If you get rejected from one country, does not mean another European country would also reject you. But of course, make a good strategy. Try to apply on time and do not just look that I apply here, I apply there. That would make your things worse and messy. So it's better you prefer a single decision. Start working it from now. You are still in December. Start managing funds from now. If you have difficulty, you can just connect with me. I'll help you out manage the funds. But make a clear idea if you want to go where. Just you can keep it as a backup option, but don't think I'll apply Switzerland, I'll apply Malaysia, I'll apply Singapore, I'll apply everywhere. That would make difficult for you to manage. And you can drop my continue. I can drop my studies and continue. Possible to convert student visa. See, I would suggest you're getting a world class degree with scholarships. So why do you want to stop your studies to do work? Work also you will be able to do, like I said, like cutting jobs, restaurant jobs, maybe cleaning jobs. So these are not one of the elite jobs. If you finish the degree, you can show that degree and get some good jobs like in business, in engineering, in software development. So why do you want to do jobs which are not that good, and that to dropping your studies which would have given you a proper job later? Because if you have a degree, it is with that you get a job. That's the hard reality, honestly. So, Lavish, are you currently doing masters? Yeah, I have almost finished my masters. Just left to submit my thesis. As soon as I submit, I'll get the degree. So, Monk, also someone have told me that students who do bachelors in Italy don't get any post-study visa. No. If you are doing a bachelor's in Italy, as of now, we have 3 years of education plus 1 year of post-study visa for finding the job. If you find job, you can convert the 1 year to later jobs with the company's offer letter, company's pay slips, etc. But if you do not find job in that 1 year, you'll be asked to move out of Italy because your visa would not be renewed. But now the government is trying to make it 3 plus 2 years. I'm not sure if it's implemented as of now, but it was in discussion. So they give you 2 years for doing the job search. So next question is from PK. Can you explain when the IMET registration process start and how can we choose university? Okay. So IMET registration process starts from when the pre-enrollment opens, which is generally around March April. Choosing the university, I would say there's no one university I can tell you that go there. What happens is for someone Parma could work out, for someone Pavia can work out, for someone Messina, for someone Catania. Because what happens is everyone goes to one university, the competition for that university increases. So what we have to do right now is we have to basically, we have to look at our score that we are doing past papers. We are scoring, let's say out of 90, we are scoring 75. So since we are scoring a very good score, maybe I can plan for going to Bologna. I can plan for going to Sapienza. I can plan for going to Tor Vergata. So it basically depends on what is your preparation. If you're too confident, you can go for the higher universities. If you're a little less confident, your need score was less, and if you have not done a lot of good preparations, then choose like Catania, Messina, maybe Parma, Marche. All of these universities could be a little safer options. But of course, if everyone chooses these universities, then the top universities cutoff would go down. So there's no golden rule. When we do mock exams, we do actually mock exams with students every week. When we do mock exams, we evaluate their profile, we evaluate other students profile, and then we tell you, okay, this person with 60 score is choosing this, so you with 62 can choose this. So that's how we basically help you, because we deal with a good number of students, so we have a rough idea about with what scores you can choose what, which could be safer for you. So Monk has this question also: are there any Erasmus opportunities for non-EU bachelor students, and can you just please elaborate and give me some info on Erasmus? So see, yes, I would say every bachelor's or master's degree they have Erasmus, where they can actually go for one semester to a different country altogether. So that depends on the collaboration that your university has. If your university has collaboration with, let's say, a university in Paris or a university in Poland, you can do a semester extend wherein you will do some subjects from here in there, and then they would be evaluating your subjects here, and you don't need to pass them here. So it would give you a little more exchange environment and atmosphere. I've been to Taiwan, where I stayed there for 6 months. I to the National Taiwan University. That's like in the top 100 universities in the world. And it was a very, very indeed a great experience for me. So Mong has this question, and is applying early really helps? Like if I apply in visa in July or early August, will that increase my chances? Yes. Applying visa helps because the visa officer has lesser files. They can proactively see your file and give you visa instantly. But if you only if and only if your funds are proper and they are fine. If they are distorted, if they're not correct, then do not just quickly rush with the visa file with the wrong funds, with the low ITR or with the low bank statements, because then it would not help. It would only help if you have a strong profile and you have started to work from on it from now. Sai has this question. Me and my friends got rejection from Bangalore. Yeah, of course. Like again, I'm saying that if you do not do funds management properly, if you just go on luck, if you just go on full loan, if you just go any month, any Ramu Yadav, Shamu Yadav, Pankaj Yadav is just putting you money, and you think you'll get the visa, then my friend, no, you'll not. You have to work on it from now. You should have a proper company paying you money, proper company giving you a business income, or you should have a proper solid evidence of each and every credit entry that you're getting in your statements from January to whenever you apply. Can I apply for language course in any country and move there, and then can I directly convert my student visa in Italy without applying visa? See, now it becomes very difficult because the embassy sometimes says that now the language learning is totally online. So why do you, for an entire bachelor's degree, master's degree, of course, you need to go in person to attend it. But for a language, you can of course attend online. So then they want to know a reason why you're going for a language course. Then in that case, better is that you, the visa officer, you go for a bachelor's or master's. Otherwise, visa officer thinks that for just the language, you can just learn from your own country. Khushi has this question. Could you please tell me about university selection? So, guys, we're gonna wrap in 15 minutes because it's been a little long video, I would say. We'll do live again sometime soon. So, quickly, just put in your last questions that you have. Then we'll just quickly wrap in last 15 minutes. So, could you tell about the university selection? Yes. So, university selection, like I said, see which university is aligning with your CGPA or with your class 12 mark sheet, which university needs some extra, exam like SAT or GMAT or, any other exams or GRE or IMAT, like for example, medicine courses. So, based on that, you decide university. But in English, the number of courses are less, both for bachelor's and master. So, first prioritize seeing which university is offering the course you want to do. Then go and see what university has its as entry requirements. What is the application fee? What is the deadline? What is the acceptance rate? Where is the university located? How is the scholarship? And how is the student environment? All of these questions, once you start exploring, you start researching in detail, you'll be able to easily do university selection. Otherwise, you can just get in touch with me. We pretty much know about all universities because we have sent students to almost all universities, so we can help you that in that manner. For bachelor's in Northern University in Italy or Southern, see, Lavish, with my experience, I would say both North and South are great. I have seen students studying in North. I have traveled in North. I have studied myself in South. And I would say, in my opinion, South is much more peaceful. In North, what happens every time there's tourists coming in, the buses and everything would be crowded, and the thieves are more, so you can get robbed easily. And then there's so much rush that you don't get to peacefully live your life. In South, what I personally feel is education is good because all universities are public. It's not that South universities have bad professors or not have very good professors. It's a misconception. So South is more peaceful, less crowded, less tourist populated. So I would suggest that if you're going there, you'll actually love living in the city. Otherwise, you'll be very much into like fast things, fast life, and it would become difficult for you. Could you tell about for bachelors? Is the yeah this is it. The new visa checklist from Delhi Embassy is showing that we have to show medical insurance for the whole stay. Is it true? No, you don't have to show for the whole stay. There is a glitch on the insurance thing. It's better to show 1 year, but 6 months also insurance. If you show, it's fine because insurance can be renewed. They also write that they need a return flight, but that is also not needed if you're going for a long term type D visa. If you're going for a semester exchange in Europe, then of course return flight is also needed. Okay, and so next question is, we're quickly wrapping in like next 10 minutes. So bachelor's or masters, and what was your university? Okay, this is I think you're talking amongst yourself. So in Bangalore consulate, they don't have interview but have a very high visa rejection this year. Do you know why? Give your experience with students. See, again, the problem is visa is totally depends upon the funds. If the funds are proper, I would tell you from Bangalore this year we've got 32 visas from Bangalore alone. We had the majority of number of students from Bangalore and from Mumbai. Then comes to Delhi and then comes to Kolkata. So if you have funds and everything proper, they give you visa. And it's not that Bangalore does not take interview at all. For most some of the people, they even called them in the Bangalore consulate in Bangalore, and they took the physical interview also. So yeah. So Samit, as I understand, for MBBS student, you don't get any cadaver exposure, but work with dummies. Yeah. How would that help in getting skills by working on a human body? Will that be disadvantage? No. See, what happens is in Italy, every country has their own way. Some, you know, teach on the real dead bodies. Someone teaches on the, the plastic dummy bodies. I can actually show you a video if you tell me. I have recorded some videos. I have not posted it yet. But if you want, I can just post it out there. You'll see actually they have a very human-like looking bodies because they, being Christians, do not actually believe in doing testing on bodies. So I think it's a very very good exposure. There's no difference I would say, because it's actually like working on a real body. I have personally touched the pieces on which they teach. It's pretty much, I would say, like real, like you'll enjoy doing that, and there's honestly no disadvantage. There have been a lot of doctors, even Italian doctors are worldwide renowned. If they can do it, you can also do it. I mean, it's not something like the end of the world. Can we convert one country EU student visa to Italy student visa? You can, but you have to again apply. If you're applying for the visa, you have to again apply. Let's say you went to Latvia. From Latvia, you want to come to Italy. So you have to apply for the visa in Latvia. Then only you'll be able to come in Italy. You cannot stay here on Latvia's visa. Bachelor's, it's financially related. So OnePlus has this question. You take money but don't have help at all. So I think that's I was told by a past student. So I think that's you can just personally connect with him and connect with me and tell me what was your experience. I will look into it because I think it's one of the haters who are just putting the comment. But nonetheless, you can just connect with me in person and you can tell me what is the student name so that I can see your feedback into account. So next question: how do you get university accommodation and what is the process? Okay, so what is the process and how does it helps in connecting? Okay, so basically university accommodation is very limited. Let's say there are 5,000 students coming in and accommodations are only 300, 400. So not everyone can get it. It's first come first basis, on the basis of easy. So let's say if you do not get the visa and your visa is coming late but your visa is less and you have been assigned a accommodation, then they would move the accommodation to someone else who has arrived in Italy. So they want to keep it in account that you have arrived in Italy on time. Second is that your easy is lower. So based on the easy value, basically they would help you to give you the accommodations. And how does it connect with scholarship? Because I will get scholarship in December. Yeah, so you'll get scholarship amount in December, but your accommodation would be from when you go in October, November, so you can start living in those accommodations. So I think guys, that was more or less all. If you have any last quick questions or any last quick tips, you can just quickly give so that we can just come to an end. I have tried to mostly, I have tried to answer mostly all of your questions. So next question that I have heard that IMET is a major bottleneck for med schoolers. Yes, of course, it is like the NEET in India. If you do not have a good NEET, you cannot, go for. So you are talking about Piyush Gupta. So you see, like the Piyush Gupta OnePlus, he is from Nepal and he has got the visa through us. So I don't know what he's saying to you. You can just connect him back to him. I also have like the WhatsApp chats. He's got the visas through us itself. He's from Nepal. So I have heard that IMET is major bottleneck for medical students. Yes, that's true. And is it true that IMET qualifiers visa is rarely rejected? No, it's totally incorrect. IMET people also visas can be rejected because if you do not have funds, even if you have cleared the exam, how can you survive in Italy? That's again a question. I know people who have got rejected after being clearing the IMAT. So I have heard that IMED is okay. This is done. This is done. Is it possible to get Italian taught programs? No, because like for English programs, you need to show B2 English proficiency. Likewise, for Italian program, you need to um, show your Italian B2 proficiency. So yes, Monk, thank you. I have enjoyed my time in Italy, and I hope when you come, you should also be able to enjoy. So that was it. Thank you guys for taking out time. Of course, we'll keep doing live soon, and we'll try to show you more live about how is staying in Italy, what are things. We'll come up with more and more videos for 2026 so that you can actually see how is it to live in Italy, and how is it to actually make a process easier and all of these factors. So hope you had a very very good experience, and all the best for the new year. Party hard, because later the things might get difficult for you because you'll be engaged in admissions, pre-enrollment, HRD apostles, and you might also be working simultaneously. So that was it. Thank you for staying till the end. All the best, and happy new year to you and your family. If any problems, of course, feel free to WhatsApp me on my number. It's very much available on the YouTube, and we'll connect one to one. Okay, bye bye. Ciao. See you guys.